Haters. We love to, well, hate them. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. And today I submit to the court that the haters of the world are not as scary as we may think. Scary? Hateful, as we may think. Why is that? Simply put, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's a phenomenon of this day and age, but it certainly seems to be more popular in today's day and age, we like to influence ourselves into doing things by imagining a world that is out to get us in some way. You see it all over social media. My haters can't hold me back. Or, shut out the haters. Or, don't listen to anybody who tells you don't do something. Now, it's generally a good idea to not take advice from everyone. I did a whole podcast on it. I did 10 minutes on advice, specifically in that regard, in order to help you get advice on where to get advice. Weird how that works. Sorry, just doing some live mixing as we go here. But this concept that we are sort of surrounded by haters and that we have to fight constantly, it seems equally as unhealthy as believing that we are the center of the universe. And in a way, believing you're surrounded by haters is believing you are the center of the universe, because let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen? I don't remember how big my audience is anymore. I got 12 subscribers on YouTube. That's fun. If you want to be a subscriber, just follow me on YouTube or Spotify. I'm not picky. Subscribe. Please. It helps my numbers. It doesn't do anything but stroke my ego, but it will let me know that you're not a hater. The point being, when we talk about haters in the modern world, we're referring to a phenomenon of people who care about us so much. And I don't mean they care about us like they want us to do well. I mean they care about our lives so much that they're doing nothing but hating on you all day. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would submit to you that somebody who you believe is one of your biggest haters does not think about you 99% of their day. There may be 1% of the day where they took the time to post something on your social media, or they thought you did something wrong, or whatever. Chances are, that's the only time of the day they cared about you. The other 99% of the day, they may have just been off doing their thing. Just living their life. Doing whatever it is that haters do, creating haterade. On a side note, I'm going to be a hater of Gatorade, which is what haterade rhymes with, and that's how we got to this point. I'm going to be a hater of Gatorade because while Gatorade is advertised as an athletic drink, it's mostly just sugar water. I've heard that sugar water can be very useful for you if you expend a great deal of electrolytes. But for 99% of us, it's sugar water. It carries no benefit from you. It carries about as much benefit as drinking a cup of sucrose. That's pretty much what it is. So if you drink Gatorade, I just performed a hater act, and you can post me on your social media as the hater motivating you. Why am I so critical of what we can call the hater theory? The theory that we need to shut out the haters and, first of all, again, the point I just made being that most people don't care about you enough to be a hater of you. So why do you care about them? But a follow-up to that is that it sort of creates a dangerous me versus them mindset. Now, I'm a big fan of competition. Love me some competition. But I was talking to my uncle the other day, and the best kind of competition is collaborative competition. But Nick, what is collaborative competition? I'm so glad you asked, Invisible Straw Man. Collaborative competition is the concept that you should actually like the people you compete with. You should genuinely enjoy them as people. Like, you should enjoy the fact that these are other people operating at the best level they can, and they are in whatever mode or arena you're competing in. It should be exciting for you. Iron, in that case, should sharpen iron. I don't know why this is iron sharpening iron. This is really more of a timeout, but that's okay. If you're an NFL player, for example, there are very few NFL players who actually insistently dislike each other. And I say insistently, meaning that they absolutely refuse to like each other. Most of the NFL players, they get along pretty well. Even though their job is to hurl their bodies at each other at as high a speed as possible. But Nick, they're supposed to tackle with good form. Good form is stopping the yard. Good form is not allowing the yard to be gained. That's collaborative competition, though. They put on their jerseys and they go out on the field and they play, but they're all friends. They're all buddies. Actors, an excellent example of collaborative competition. You are competing with lots of people for the jobs that you auditioned for. Don't get me wrong. Like, every time I go on an audition, which is more often than you'd think. I don't know why I said more often than you'd think. I don't even know how many of you actually care about my acting career. I don't know how many of you care about my podcasting career. But I know you're not haters. Acting is a great example of collaborative competition because all actors are competing for the same pool of roles, right? Like, I look like 17 other people. Those 17 other people are going to compete for the same roles that I go in for. I'm going to, just because I know those people, just because I like those people, I'm still going to put forth the best audition I can put forward. And if they get it, that's great. It's not great. I'm going to be happy for them and disappointed I didn't get the role. That's the nature of collaborative competition. That's the paradoxical nature of collaborative competition, if you will. That is a much healthier mindset to me than having a mindset of, I need to shut out the haters. I just need to go into my mind and just focus on just me. That's not a thing. You can't do that. I see it most often on like social media posts that reference the gym, which is only funny because every gym bro I've ever met, most of them are like the friendliest people on the planet. Like, most gym bros have big time golden retriever energy. Like, you almost think that if you threw a 300-pound barbell out into the world, they'd chase it like a stick. Like, they're just there for a good time. Like, they just enjoy, like, the gym is just their social club. It's just their life. Most of them aren't motivated by haters. Most of them are just motivated by love of what they do and love of competing. Like, even if they're not in actual weightlifting competitions, most of them, when I had a gym partner, I loved the guy and still do to this day. But he and I would absolutely compete. It was not a good gym session if one of us wasn't trying to one-up the other. Collaboratively competing. And then hyping each other up on our lifts, right? Like, that's the thing. The hater mindset occupies a lot of your mental energy to both create and then dismiss haters. You have to create something and then dismiss it, right? Whereas if you just take a mindset of you don't need to create people to collaboratively compete with. You put that energy out into the world, that energy will come back to you. If you have the energy out into the world of like, oh, I gotta shut out my haters, most people will be like, ooh, who's this guy? Putting out all that darkness. It's weird. It's gross. I don't know if it'd be gross. I don't know. That was 10 minutes on haters. I thought this would be a much better podcast than it turned out to be, and that's okay. If you thought it was a okay podcast, a solid C+, drop a follow. If you didn't think it was a solid C+, leave a comment. I'll try to improve. We'll collaboratively compete together. I won't treat you like a hater. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.